guys, it's Jackie, and not only are my dreads 3.5 months old, but I'm completely done with my extensions, and I have an update for you on the synthetic hair extensions, and I'm going to show you a little trick on pulling loose baby hairs into your roots. So get ready for a good video. Alright, so first things first, my extensions are done. I've got 97 dreads and I've got 96 extensions. I really wanted to have 96 dreads because it's a multiple of 3 and that's cooler, and 6 is my favorite number, but no, I wound up with 97, so I didn't extend this one out of bitterness. But yeah, I've done some fun Halloween makeup today. If you're wondering about my lips and my eyes, I used these little lip tattoos and the leftovers on my eyelids. They're from Violent Lips, and they just come in a little thing like this. You cut it out to fit your lip, and they come in like all these colors. So cool, right? Happy Halloween, that's why I did fun makeup. I don't really like holidays, but I do like an excuse to do some out there makeup. Anyway, spin around time. My extensions be done. Now these are all human hair extensions, but I'm experimenting with synthetic hair extensions just to see how they'll behave, what they look like, and if they are viable as a cheaper option to human hair extensions. But anyway, about those synthetic extensions, I added in some clip-ins from Hot Topic. I've got another video about that. This one is my older one, and it's doing just fine. It's not really locking or not locking, it's just kind of staying the exact same as when I made it. I've had to do a few touch-ups to the area where this bonds to this hair, so I wouldn't recommend using the method that I used in this video on this one, because your dreads will all come out if you do all your extensions like that. Use my other method, the method I learned from other people anyway. So I did this one with synthetic hair. It came out a little longer because I think I was lazier in dreading it. So the length difference is like this, from like, see that? This one's tighter and better done, and this one, well, it's kind of coming along. I don't know, it's synthetic, so we'll see what happens. The biggest thing is that this pink color has faded, whereas this newer one is still brighter pink, so the color does fade a little from synthetic extensions, but not too much. Alright, now on to the main attraction of my video, or I hope. I don't know what the main attraction is, but it's like the main topic. Is I've already separated out some hair because I've done all my roots lately, and I just wanted to show you how to pull in loose hairs. Now normally, if you want to find loose hairs in your little dreads fuzz halo, if you want to take care of it, which some people don't, some people like being natural, it's fine, but I like looking tidy in my dreads, so I'll just pinch for hair that's loose. And if I can find hair that goes all the way down to the root that's loose, that's when I use this method. So some of this hair here is loose. I'm not going to do that hair. I'm actually going to do this hair that I've sectioned off so I wouldn't lose it, because I've done all my roots like in the last few days, so none of them are really loose right now. So for this, you're 0.6 millimeters. You can see the difference in the tip sizes. This one is obviously going to work better for little fine hairs, and this one, this thicker one, is going to work better for big weaving. This one isn't sturdy enough, and it doesn't have a big enough latch on the hook to pull in hair, so that's why I use this one for most maintenance, this one for weaving and adding extensions. So I'm going to take this band off. We're ready! Alright, so I found a bunch of hair. Look at this loose hair. And it's kind of, you know, it goes all the way down to the root. And so I'm going to look for the dread that it makes the most sense to go into. I've got kind of a clean part between this dread up here and this dread. And I've got, I don't know, you want to always make sure your parts are clean, because if you don't, you're going to get, as one of my people I watch says, bridging in your dreads. So, let's see. It's hard to see, guys. But basically, you just want to make sure the parts are clean and that the hair is closest to the dread you're adding it to, because that'll make more sense than what you're normally doing. And I realize this dread is sectioned kind of rectangularly, but if you're willing to do root maintenance, that shouldn't cause too many problems. Rectangularly shaped dreads will split at the root usually. So what we're going to do is take the big crochet hook, put it through kind of near the root, and wrap the hair around 2 or 3 times, or 4, whatever you feel. And then hook side up, pull it through. Okay, so we've got that. And the important part here, wiggle it around, keep it loose. Someone in a forum recommended this to me because I always get my roots done too tight, especially around my hairline, which is messy. So they said I should, you know, weave it through twice or 3 times like I'm doing, and then crochet hook it, which is actually a great way to do all your roots without getting your hair pulled too tight. Now some people can pull their roots, see I'm just weaving through, sorry. Some people can pull their roots so tight, even in ponytails or whatever, weighted dreads, or doing your crochet hooking too tight, even free-flowing hair, dreaded hair. Some people can pull their roots so tight that they get traction alopecia, which is really just hair loss, permanent hair loss from pulling your hair too tight forever. So you don't want that. Don't do your roots too tight. So now I've woven this in 2 to 3 times. I'm going to wiggle it all around, make sure I've got the full dread range of motion. And here's basically the tail of that woven hair. I kind of mess it up a little, push it against the side of my dread, and I pinch it, and I just, again, just like normal root maintenance, go like this, but in really minute moves in my hair. And I know this part is probably boring because you can't even see what I'm doing. Yes, and an incredibly important part of doing crochet hooking to your dreads is to make sure that you do not hear popping or snapping. Now, if you hear like a little scratch, that's fine, but if you hear actual snapping or can feel your hair snapping, that is no good. So yeah, you just want to pull up. But basically, I've got that loose hair into my dread now, and if I tease it a little bit more in, it's going to lock in just fine. So that's how you pull loose hair into your roots, and I'll show you a close-up of how my roots look. They're not too tight. They're not too loose, and they've got clean parts. It's so important to separate your roots every day. Or maybe not every day, but just make sure on a regular basis that your roots have clean parts between them. They don't have to be perfect squares, but they do need clean parts between them so they don't Congo. And so, especially in the back of your head, you don't forget your roots, and then it just turns into one big matted mess. See, here I've got pretty clean parts between my hair, and I just do the back by touch, so it might not look as pretty as the front, but I can still feel that all the hairs are going into the correct dread, and they're not trying to grow together like Romeo and Juliet or whatever. Not trying to be clandestine dread lovers on the back of my head. Not allowed. So yeah, if you want to maintain your roots, it's the way to go. If you want to add extensions, I've got videos on how to do it. This is what mine look like. They look pretty good, right? And they're staying in really well. I haven't had one fall out yet, and as long as I keep track of the ones that are getting a little fluffy at the extension meeting my hair point, as long as I keep those a little maintained, they're perfect. And one final note on doing crochet hook maintenance of your dreads, especially when they're new, you can do it once to set them up and make sure they have a nice tight setup, but you probably don't really want to do it more than once a month. Like, I'll sit down about once a month and do my roots, and then if I've got some extensions sticking out, you know, I'll take care of those, but you really don't want to constantly be pulling in hairs all over your dread. They're supposed to be fluffy when they're new. They'll tighten up, and don't overdo it with these guys. These, with great power comes great responsibility, so if you use these, be responsible. Okay guys, I hope that helps. I hope you guys love my hair. Happy Halloween, and have a nice day. Bye. Adding in dreadlock extensions, and